Britta. Good to see you. It's probably Thursday your time. No, not yet.
I'm actually in the US.
Oh, hello.
So good to see you.
Has did you move back here or are you
No,
just
I have a project in upstate New York, so I'm there to check on it. Still in Hong Kong.
I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, so good to see you.
Oh, yay. How long are you in town?
I'll be here for 2 more weeks. But I was like, I saw this. I was like, oh, I'm going to be there.
So glad you did.
I miss
so
you.
Glad you did. Y'all, Britta, we've known each other for quite a while. She was in the interior design business bakery, living in Hong Kong. And
best thing I ever did.
Business. So
best thing I ever did. It was
that
fantastic.
is awesome. Thanks, honey. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Well, let me tell you guys what we're talking about today is our weekly visit. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Michelle Lynne, and I am the owner of ML Interiors Group, which is an award-winning interior design firm here in Dallas, Texas. And I'm here in the office by myself today because my team has an installation. I just got back from it. So we literally are an operating interior design firm, which I pride myself on because there's just some really great interior design coaches that are out there, but very few are still running their own interior design business. And y'all, if you've been in this industry for a while, you know that it is not easy. Like there is something that happens on a regular basis that just makes you question your sanity. And that's what we're talking about this week. We are talking about when things do not go according to plan or when the unexpected happens and things along that line. So because my company, ML Interiors Group, can basically, knock on wood, run itself, it allows me the opportunity to step outside of the day-to-day operations here and coach women in the interior design business. And yeah, we coach men too. But my passion is to empower women and allow us the voice to lift ourselves up in a righteous manner, in a professional way. So by running your own business and by impacting others in their homes, we're changing lives one ugly house at a time. So there's plenty of ugly houses out here, y'all. It is all about community over competition. So I come to Facebook once a week on Wednesdays at noon Central Standard Time and just talk about what's going on and do a little bit of coaching. So that's what we're here for today. Before we dive into how handling the unexpected as a business owner, how to navigate that, I want to invite you. Beginning on Monday, we have a free workshop. Monday is the 16th, right? Yeah, my calendar's right over there. I think it's Monday. October 16th, we are starting Rolling in the Dough. It's a free 5-day workshop, how to qualify, quote, and close high-end clients while you're baking in the profits. And this is actually where I met Britta. And this is also where I share with you my paid program. Okay, so you get a lot of badass content the first 5 days of the event. But I do share with you the paid program that I offer. But y'all, it's not like a week-long commercial. There's some really good takeaways. So speaking of takeaways, let's talk about today. Hallie, I think what we're talking about is how to navigate the unexpected in business, how to deal with things when they don't go your way. And I'm going to be doing a podcast on this soon because I have so much to talk about. Let me just give you a little bit of background. My summer started off with a contractor. It's a contractor that we worked with before, and he had worked with the same client that he was working for. They just went to a different house. He took $55,000 from my client and did not order the appliances. Okay. That's how it started. I just had a conversation with the client a couple of days ago, and we're still navigating through some of that. So we found out that John was his name. I had him come to my studio at the time on a Sunday and sat his happy ass down and said, "What's going on?" And he finally came clean and says, "Well, I haven't ordered it. I've taken their money, but I haven't ordered it." So we had that conversation. Then my husband, a couple weeks later, went into the hospital for a week, had some of his small intestines taken out. So I was navigating business and mom and being at the hospital, and he's fine now. So there was that. Then we were opening up this place here. If you're in Dallas, this is called Studio Works. This is a co-working space for interior designers, builders, contractors, architects, like this little industry. So we were opening that beginning of June. And I was also launching a software called Sidemark, which is a really badass software. We'll talk about that later. That was on June 1st. On June 7th, I think it was, we were having our open house here. Turns out that day I had to terminate 2 of my key employees because they were opening up another business, an interior design business, which I fully support. I fully support them, but not on my time and not on my dime. Okay. So then we're cleaning up all of their mess. So y'all, it's been a summer. It's been a summer. Not to mention the fact that my SEO broke and I wasn't getting a lot of calls in. And the calls that I was getting in, I think we're going to potentially another company, but I won't be naming names. Okay, so shit happens, right? How do you navigate when things like that happen? And I pray that you never have a summer like that, okay? I'm just grateful that my daughter's health is well, my health is well, and so forth, and that I have kept my sanity. So what I want to share with you is when the proverbial shit is hitting the fan and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's just coming all over me. Like it's hitting the fan and it's hitting you, okay? What generally happens is our bodies react in fear, okay? It's just a natural tendency. Like I wanted to just hide under the desk. I didn't want anything else to hit me. Like I wanted to not get out of bed, okay? There's fear that just comes up from our mind, okay? Our mind is always looking for what's going wrong. And so it keeps looking for what can be going wrong, what is happening, like what else can go wrong, things along that line. So our mind is always looking to protect us, okay? Whether it protects us or not, because it's actually like creating more anxiety and things along that line. This is just a natural, what do you call it? It is a physiological state, okay? It's scientific based. It's how our body reacts. It's from our ancient brain back in the day when we were, I don't know, cavemen, and we were always looking for what's wrong to make sure that we didn't get speared by what are those giant elephants, okay? And then you got the saber-toothed tiger and stuff like that. So you're always looking for what's wrong. So when things are going wrong, when the unexpected happens, okay, whether it's that you drop a vase at your client's house that you know they love, or you have to let go of 2 of your key employees. Fear and in my here's what I've coined for fear. It's either F everything and run, fuck everything and run. Okay, I'm just trying not to swear too loud on camera. So it's F everything and run, okay, or it's face the excuses and the reality. You have a choice, okay? You literally have a choice. Are you going to F everything and run? Okay. And here's the thing is like, you might do that for a day. You might do that for a week. The more sophisticated you get in your business as an entrepreneur, the less time it's going to take you to recover. Okay. There have been times in my life, it probably would have taken me 3 months or a freaking year to like get over all of this. Okay. But as a business owner, okay, and if you guys have been a parent, you also recognize that you can't hide. Like, even if you're sick, your kids still need you, especially when they're young. So you can F everything and run for a short period of time. Give yourself that grace to hide underneath the bed, underneath the desk, whatever. Okay. But then it truly comes up to, you have to face the excuses and the reality. Okay. And I made these up last night. In fact, I messaged Hallie in case I forgot them because I didn't write them down. It's been a busy morning, but you have to face the excuses and the reality. What I mean by this is, in every situation other than my husband's hospitalization, Yes, you are my reserve brain. That's awesome, Hallie. Um, Other than my husband's surgery, some of these other things I might have seen and neglected. Okay. Um, but you have to face the excuses. And as the business owner, the buck ends with me. Okay. The buck ends with you. So what basically you have to do is you can F everything and run for a couple days, a week, whatever. But then you have to come out and you have to address it head on. It's not going to go away. You can put your head in the sand and hope that it goes away, hope that somebody else deals with it on your behalf, but that's not likely. It's very unlikely, as a matter of fact. So if you face the excuses, like the excuses that I had, is like, oh, it's not my fault. That's the contractor. He did that. Okay. It's not my fault, but I still have to face the reality because it's my client. Okay. It's my client. It's my job to protect the client. Am I going to pay the $55,000 to make up for it? Oh, hell to the no. Hell to the no. Okay. That's why, keep in mind, that's why we don't, the contractors' payments do not go through us. Okay. You might be tempted, that this is a whole nother conversation, but I got a minute or two. You might be tempted to run the contract for the contractor through you, because then you can potentially mark it up 10 or 20%. I'm here to tell you, in my humble opinion, it's not worth it, because if that was the case and we had done that in this particular instance, I'd be out the $55,000 like that. There would be no argument because it would be going through me. And that's an extreme example, but there are the other little things that come up that you are responsible for with a contractor, insurance, all the things that could go wrong. Okay, so facing the excuse and the reality. When it comes down to it, it's important that you see reality as it truly is. Most of us see things worse than what it is because our emotion and our fear get in our way. But it's important that you remove that emotion. And literally, y'all, this is business. This is not personal. It feels personal because it's our business. It's my individual business. It's my name on the door, right? But you have to face the excuse, but you really have to face the reality. And the reality is it's $55,000. Does it suck? Hell yeah, it absolutely does. Am I going to get beat up over it? Probably a little bit, absolutely. But then it's also my reality is that this isn't my fault, and it's really not my problem. Okay. It is in a circumspect sort of way, but it's not my $55,000. It's my problem if I don't step up and hold the hand of the client. The reality is that even though we brought John to the dance a project ago, they decided to bring him forward. Okay. Even though he was far from perfect. Okay. It's my job to stand there. The reality of it is that it sucks. I hate seeing my clients hurt so badly. I hate that this guy's such a freaking yahoo that he did that. Okay. The reality is that I am one step removed. Okay. I can go home at night and lay my head on the pillow and feel bad for them, but I'm not out the 55,000. Okay. I wasn't lied to the same extent that my clients were. My reality is to step in and to hold their hand and to do whatever I can to remedy it. So what did we do? We called our rep for the appliances and said, this is what's happened. I need to get these ordered. I'm passing on any sort of discount that or involved that we have for trade pricing. Okay. And then I'm handling to make sure that they get delivered appropriately. It's also my responsibility, and it's the reality. And I learned this a week or so ago, that I need to communicate with the client what I'm doing in the background. Okay. We were scrambling. The client had no idea how much we were scrambling. We were trying to get things fixed. Like, we spent a bunch of hours that we didn't bill to them. Okay. The reality is I should have communicated that with them better, because I went to coffee with the client last week and they were pissed off at us. because I didn't communicate with them all the stuff that we were doing on their behalf. I told him, I was like, I didn't want to wave I didn't want to wave a flag and say, look at me, this is what we're doing. I just wanted to prevent you from any more pain. Okay, so communication is key. So what do you do when the unexpected happens? Okay, you can F everything and run, but you can also face the excuses and the reality. You have to see situations as they truly are and not worse than they are, because it's like getting hit in the gut sometimes. It takes you by surprise. It knocks the wind out of you. Okay, but you get back up and you assess the situation and then you move forward. That's what we do. We move forward. Okay, you might be taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Okay, you're still moving forward, and technically 2 steps forward and 1 step back is the cha-cha. So you're kind of dancing, okay? But you have to also remember the reality of this is that nobody's going to die on the operating table. We're not working in the emergency room. So overall, what I want you to take from this, short little 15-minute nugget is bad things happen, but it's up to you to determine how you are going to deal with it. How do you want, if you're paralyzed in fear and you're just doing the F everything and run, and you're just paralyzed in fear, stop and think about, when I get to the other side of this, how do I want to feel about myself? What sort of example would I want my child who might be of age to watch and hear what's going on? How do I want them to see me react? Because they're watching my reaction and they're going to inherently learn that as their reaction in the future. I have a 5-year-old. She doesn't fully understand it, but if I went home and I was cranky every night because I had a really crappy summer, she's going to feel that. Okay. If I can go home and tell my husband the story, but also tell him like, yeah, this is what's going on, just like, dinner chit chat, then she's going to learn the reactivity of the situation when she comes to it. Now, you might not have children listening to you, but you have yourself listening to you. You have yourself. And this is where you have to stop and think about, okay, who am I? Who do I want to be? It might not be comfortable, but who do I need to be in order to get through here? So with my 2 key employees, y'all, one of my employees was with me for 8 years. Like, she was my little sister, basically. And the other one, I mean, she had the code, she had all my passcodes. Okay. She had the code to my house. Like, she had all of my passwords. So these are individuals that I care deeply about. Okay. But who do I want to be? Okay. There's bitchy me, who, I'm just wondering which one of them is going to be the first barista, because I don't think that they're going to be really successful in their interior design business. But that's not who I want to be. I want to be the person who can learn from this, who can recognize, again, the excuses and the reality. Okay, so these are some things that I did. Partially, I ran my business a little bit more to serve my employees than to serve the company. That's a mistake. Okay, you have to keep your company forefront, otherwise there's not going to be employees. As much as you love them, you have to keep your company as the forefront. Okay, there are other things that I saw that I just kind of excused, some behavior that wasn't quite right. So who do I want to be when I come out of this? It's been what, almost 6 months? June, July, August, September, October, November. Oh no, June, July, August, September, October, 4 months. Okay. It still hurts. It still hurts, but I have to acknowledge that. You acknowledge this when bad things happen to you. Was it personal? No, they were not making decisions about me. They were making decisions about themselves. So this is the reality that I have to see. Okay, it's not about me. They were so centered on themselves. That's the reality of it. Okay, are there excuses that I can make for them? Probably, but I need to face my own excuses. I need to face my own reality, and I need to determine that I want to take the high road. And even when I get hurt and when I feel bitchy and when I feel sad and all of the things that you go through, that my face forward is something that I would want to be able to look back and respect, even when it's hard. So no throwing them under the bus, no, mean social media posts or anything like that. It's like, here's the truth, here's what it is, and my feelings are separate. Okay, so again, you have to figure out, when you get to the other side of this, how do you want to feel about yourself? I want to feel proud that I took the high road. I want to feel proud that, I'm not bashing them, even though there are times when I feel like it. And that's the F everything and run. Like, I can feel that way. Allow yourself to feel that way. So at the end of the day, I just really want to empower you to know that when bad things happen, or when the unexpected happen to you, fear is going to be the first thing you feel. Acknowledge that, embrace that feeling, and just know that you have two choices as to where you want to go with it. And you can take both. It's your choice as to how long you want to hide and when you want to come out and face the excuses, because anything that happens, you have to assess and say, okay, I need to take a look and face the excuses and the reality. And what can I learn from this? What can I learn from John stealing this money from my client? Okay, there's a handful of things that we're going back and we're looking at in our contract and how we vet the client and the contractor and things along that line. But somebody else's lack of integrity can hurt, but I don't have to take ownership for it, unless I was the one who said, oh, I happen to know he's a liar, stealer, and a thief, but you should use him anyway. I didn't do that. So I can rest easily on the other side of it. Same thing with employees. It's going to be the same thing. You put yourself in any situation that sucks, and you can use the face everything, the F everything and run, or face the excuses and the reality. Just make sure you see the reality as it truly is and not worse than it is. So that's my TED Talk. I will be creating a podcast that goes into a little bit more depth on that. As I heal and come out the other side. It's not something that I'm quite ready to talk about more than 15 minutes. But there's a lot of layers to peel back. But I just really want to encourage y'all. As an entrepreneur, you are a freaking warrior, okay? Not a worrier, a warrior, okay? So thank you for being here. Please do come join us for the interior design. What is it? The rolling in the dough, how to qualify, quote, and close high-end clients while you're baking your profits into your project. If you're in Dallas, come see us at Studio Works. It's a co-working space. If you need a desk for a day, or if you need an office for a year, we have everything in between. So Hallie just dropped in the workshop link for you to register. And I will see you. We're going to be on Zoom and in the Facebook next week. So I'll see you then. Thanks for being here, guys.